What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week, fortnightly you might say, to chit-chat to you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands on to. Yes, yes. And my hands have been on many things this past 2 weeks. Sort of. Kind of. I've been doing stuff. But first, to the very important step. Tea. Gotta have tea. Today's tea, basic Yorkshire Gold. Very tasty, very black, very caffeinated, very good. I'm coming to you from a very blustery, gray, rainy Pacific Northwest. Today is, no, I wasn't gonna put that down there, so I didn't have to lean so far. Today is February 7, 2023. This will be going up on the 8th, Wednesday. Yes. So, how have you all been? I hope fantabulous. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for attempting to understand me. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for returning. I appreciate it, and I will do my best to not be super confusing today. I'm a little confusing today. Can't help it. I have kind of a pile of weirdness next to me because, if you've been here for a while, you may want to sit down. Are you seated? Are you ready? I finished things. Many, multiple, several things. So first, a while ago I was telling y'all about how I had a sewing machine now, and I needed to get over the fear of it. Yeah, I think I did. Yep. I made some pillows, just 1 or 2. So I went through after I'd done the drawer of doom, I went through the drawer of doom and I began to figure out what I wanted to do with the drawer of doom, and this is the beginning. Shall we go through these one by one? I think we should, because I don't know what I'm doing. And also, they're basic, which is perfect. But I don't know if I need to add extra things to them to make them less basic. Like, I don't know, pom-poms and chenille and all the fancy things that you all do. I don't know. I did my cute little sheepy guy. Again, these are old enough that I do not remember what the designers were. And I just used a brown that I thought kind of matched the wagon. I have my bunnies. I do love the bunnies. I don't know if I showed it off, but like this bunny here and this bunny down here, they're fluffy. They're fluffy bunnies. And this is just it looks plain white, but it has a teeny tiny bit of flower on it. So my bunnies. Let me get my face out of there so it focuses on the pillow, which is more important. My pins and needles. Look at the back fabric. Those are pins and needles. Pins and needles on the back. Is it going to focus? There we go. Isn't that cool? I thought that was cool. We have my hide and seek. Just a basic little fabric there, and then there's this little bunny one, again this time with this fabric going this way instead of this way, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I do remember making these little ribbon roses. They were cute. And my little Be Mine Valentine with some purple, because I am not a pink person, so therefore floof, I decided to focus on the color that's in the Valentine word. There's this guy, which looks a little funny on his own, but in the bowl, it looks right. There's my winter. See, Winter, and giant pillow next to him. But he sits there and he kind of props up a bunch of the other pillows. And then I have my Ode to Joy. Ode to Snow. Sorry, not Ode to Joy. That's a different song. And this is just some... Aw, you can't see the sparkles. It has the teeniest, tiniest bit of sparkle on that fabric. So, pillows. I made pillows. Which means those things are now no longer sitting in the drawer of doom. They are actually out, able to be looked at. It's very strange, people. It's kind of nice. But I don't know what else to do. I made some pillows. I threw them in a bowl. I also framed a couple things. There's one more I still need to do. Now, this is me trying to frame things myself, so be kind. Be kind. First off, I framed Tea by Tempting Tangles. I really think it's Tempting Tangles. I really like this piece. It's sweet. You can see all the different tea types. I still need to put the hanger on the back, but then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put this up. And I don't think I did too shabby of a job. I don't think. It's more or less straight in there. It's somewhat centered. There's a little more at the bottom than there is at the top, I think, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I did that. And then there's this one, which I'm still fussing with, because it's got straight sides, which means you gotta keep it straight, and I've been working on this a lot. So I framed my in-laws' wedding thing, and it really doesn't look straight in there. Like, if you count threads, it's straight. Okay, I need to pull this side a little bit more. But I'm having a hard time getting this puppy in here. I've been trying to count the threads and do all the things and the da. But I like that frame for it. On screen it looks even less straight. Yeah. I've been fighting with this. Obviously, I haven't finished the back because I'm still fighting with this, and I gave up. So I gave up and decided to film, and I'm going to poke at it a little bit more. I do have some batting behind this one. I don't have any batting behind the T, but I did put batting behind this one, and I think that makes it a little bit easier. I really do like it. I just need to get it framed better because it doesn't look straight. Even if you count the threads. The threads means it's straight, but it's not straight. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I have one more thing that I bought a frame for that I will be framing, but I haven't done it yet because I still am fighting with that small one. I thought that small one would be a little bit easier. I should have known better. I should have known better because it has straight lines, and therefore you have to keep them straight. And so there's all of that. I also have a couple of knitting finishes, so let me show those off. I forgot to grab it! No! I will be right back. For I have forgotten one of the things that I wanted to show off, and I'm very proud of it, and now I'm sad. So let me go get it. One moment, please. I'm back. All right, the thing that I forgot, this is not washed and blocked. That is finished and the ends are woven in, but they are not trimmed because I always do that after I block it. It is my second half and half It's my half and half wrap. Oh, so glorious. I need to wash and block it. I really, really do. Because I want to wear the glory that is the half and half wrap. Oh, I love these things. They are so squishy. This is made with linen quill in peach stone and something iris. Wild iris, maybe? I don't remember. Black iris? I don't remember. Anyhow, no, Kitty, you cannot come in. I'm terribly sorry. You hear her? Do you hear her? Scratching at the door? I'm not letting her in. But it is done. Again, I just need to wash and block it. Oh, so glory. So glory. I have not yet started the next one, but I do have this one done. It makes me very, very happy. And the second knit that I have finished, I'm going to show off a little bit differently. So this is the Luminary Socks by Helen Stewart. This pin shows where I was on that sock last time I was here. So let me just pop that off now. We don't need that. So I have both socks finished. This is done with the Farmer's Daughters Fibers Sock Squad things. Yes, they gave us a calendar this year, and each of the colors are based on a plant and the art. So this one was chicory, is the colorway. Luminary Socks, chicory plant, chicory colorway. Nice, huh? I'm very happy. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. Anyway, they're glorious socks. I super enjoy this detail going down the side, and then there's just this little bit of a star is what Helen Stewart called the design motif. This is a little star that's put in, and they are lovely. I used the mini on the cuff and the toe, and there are my Luminary Socks, and they were pretty, very pretty. So that's all of my finishes. I know. I actually have finishes. I have multiple finishes. I have fully finished cross-stitch projects. Who am I even? I don't know. But it's very exciting. I kind of liked finishing things for my cross-stitch. It makes me kind of want to do some more. Well, we'll see if I can ever figure out how to finish that framed one so that it looks right. I'll get there. I will. I will. I have watched so many framing tutorials from you all. So many. I mean, none of you people that I'm watching watch me, because there's so many people out there. How would you? But I was watching Elizabeth Ann can stitch her framing tutorial. There was oh, this other woman, she does tons of samplers and frames them herself, and I forgot her name. I forgot her name, and I forgot her YouTube as well. Anyway, I watched hers. I watched a couple of others, and I kind of took bits and pieces from all of them, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should have just followed one tutorial, and I'd be able to do it. But no, I decided I'm going to watch many and throw them all together. That's why I'm still fighting with it, arguing with it. Who knows? That is all of my finishes. Oh, I feel good. I feel good. So let's get into whips. I have a few. One or two. I am going to do my cross stitch whips first. No, I think I'm going to do my knitting whips first because they're sitting next to me. This particular knitting whip is also kind of stash because I didn't wait to show it off before I started knitting with it. And, well, that's just the way it's going to be. This is the February colorway from Farmer's Daughters Fiber. I am not using the mini. This was the mini. And this is the yarn. It is, I've already forgotten. But you want to know what's great? I can look in the calendar over here and tell you what it's called. It is Bitterroot. I want to say Bitterroot. Am I right? Is it Bitterroot? It is Bitterroot. So that is the colorway. Bitterroot. And I am trying to catch my cord in my yarn bowl. There we go. We got it. And this is the pattern Sign of 4. It is this nice textured pattern, which I thought would play well with the variegation on these socks, and I think it's working great. I am using a 64 stitch sock using the Sign of 4 pattern, and I'm doing these on a US1, which is 2.25 millimeter, and I am using my Mindful needles. I did 15 rounds of a 1x1 rib before I started in on the pattern. It is I think Sign of 4 is a free pattern, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's free on Ravelry. It's a 6-stitch repeat. I'm planning on doing the repeat, I think 4 more times before I get onto the heel and foot. This is the first sock. I'm going to take this little pin right here, and I'm going to mark. Oh yeah, I'm going to mark. No, the whole strand. Don't split the strand. Don't split the yarn. And I will mark, this is where I am, so that when I come back in 2 weeks, I will hopefully have a pair of socks done. But when I come back in 2 weeks, you can see how far I have made it. I'm very much enjoying this. The Luminary socks were on a merino base, and I think these are on a BFL base. It's a slightly different base than the Luminary socks, and it's glorious, delicious, gorgeous, pretty, lovely, squishy yarn, and I'm quite enjoying the color. But I just didn't like the mini with it. I think there's enough contrast and all of that, but I just wanted these to be a single color sock, and so that is what I am doing. The mini is pretty, but the mini pulls this into the pink realm instead of kind of the dusty rose realm. And I try and, I don't know. I'm anti-pink today. I'm anti-pink right now, so I don't want anything pulling things more pink. And there's this sock. It is wonderfully squishy. I love this texture. I love this texture. It just, I wish there was squish-o-vision so you could come over here and you could squish this, because it's wonderfully squishy. It would be great. My other knitting project is using Gauge Dye Works shawl. Because Gauge Dye Works does maths. I don't know how they do the maths, but they do a lot of maths in order for you to use their yarn. So here is the yarn bowl. And here is the shawl. This is the Icebreaker colorway, and I'm doing the Icebreaker shawl. It is a basic triangle shawl. But because of the way that Gauge Dye Works dyes their yarn, each of these stripes looks the same length in your stitching, which, if you think about it, is magic. Absolute magic, because each of these has to be longer because it gets bigger. The shawl gets bigger, therefore each section has to be longer. But look, 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 look. They look all the same length. It's absolute magic. Okay, it's maths, but to me it's magic. Anyway, when they released the color, the Icebreaker color ball, they sent out suggestions for shawls to go with it. And one was the Icebreaker shawl, which is more of a guideline than an actual shawl pattern, because you just put the pattern into a basic shawl. So that made no sense, and I understand that. Each time I get to a color, the Icebreaker pattern has you answer a question. Depending on how you answer the question depends on what pattern you put in there. So for the first one, it's just nothing. You're just doing stockinette. then you get to this blue, and it's like, if you do one thing, you do this type of ribbing. If you answer another way, you do another type of ribbing. So I have a 1x1 rib here. In this one, I invented my own little stitch pattern that I put on one row. This one amused me because this orange, the question was, if you like symmetry, do a broken rib on both sides. If you don't like symmetry, if you like asymmetry, only do your broken rib on one half. And so that is what I did. The next question was, put an eyelet for every year that you have been knitting. So I've been knitting approximately 13 years, I think. And so I did 13 eyelets, but then I repeated it, stepped down, again, 13 more eyelets, and then I stitched it down again and did 13 more eyelets. So I have kind of this gradiated step down eyelet, and I did it on both sides. And now I am in a stockinette gray stripe section. The next section is yellow. That is the next color. And if I remember correctly, that question is past or future. And depending on if you want to travel into the past or into the future, depends on which way you angle the triangle that you're going to make with knits and purls. For the green, the light green here, I think it's what pet you have. There's a dark green, I forget what that question is. There's this dark blue, which is put your name or other words you want into Braille with knits and purls, so that'll be fun. Your name, another name, a word, a sentence, I don't know. I don't know what I've decided to do there. And then this last light blue, I think he called it Dance Party, and you kind of do whatever you want. And then you finish the shawl. And look at that. It is just absolute magic. It's just a triangle shawl, but because of the amazing Gauge Dye Works dyeing process, it's all wonderfully, wonderfully the same length of stripes. It's absolute magic. This yarn, I'm doing these on a US size 6, which is a 4mm, and these are my Hiya Sharps. This yarn is one of the ones from my bosses. It was our Christmas gift that they gave everyone in the shop. Was a gift subscription to the Gauge Dye Works for 3 months, 4 months? Yeah, I don't remember that part. But this was the first yarn, and this is what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to pause for just a second because I have to go grab something else because my brain is not awake yet. One moment. All right, I'm back again. Maybe this time I know what I'm doing. I don't know. All right, so let's get into the cross stitch whips because I have several of those as well. Not several, I have a handful. I have a couple, I have 3. I have 3. So first up is my Home Sweet Home by the Bay Needleworks. By the Bay. Needle something. Needleworks? Needle Arts? I don't remember which it is. Either way, it's one of them. And I will put a before photo in here. Okay, now let's see how much I got done. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. I finished the entirety of the border. And it doesn't want to stand, but that's okay. The entirety of the border. The entire border is finished. I know. And then, what's going to go in each of these little scenes, little houses with yards, houses with trees, houses. I know. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. But I did finish all of the border. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself for that. It was quite nice. quite nice to get that done. I'm not sure when this will come out again. I don't even know if it'll come out again this year. But regardless, I finished the entire border. And that is more than one skein of that green, which was 3371. I need to check now. 730. DMC 730. More than one skein it took to make that border. It's a lot of stitches, people. It's a lot of stitches. But it's looking very pretty, and I'm really happy with it. Next up, oops, what came out? What came out? Did anything? No, nothing did. Next up is my Busilla Ocean Harvest. Yes, people, I finished the Triton. That's what I did this last month, was the Triton. And I finally put in the scallops line here. So I'd forgotten this back stitch right here on the scallop. And I was finishing up the Triton and I was looking at it. I was like, something looks weird about the scallop. What is it? Sorry, there was a cat hair. What is it? What is so strange about the scallop? And then I realized he was the only one who didn't have a line. So I put his line in, and so he's looking good. I have one last one. I forget what it's called. Ah, isn't that pretty though? I am well on my way to getting this done and back to my friend for their birthday in April, which was my goal. So much backstitch. So much backstitch. And again, there are several of these shells that have French knots that I have not yet put in. I will be doing that after I finish this guy because I don't want to get them squished in my Q-snap. But isn't that lovely? Oh, it looks so good. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. Ah. I'm going to be very happy when I'm finished with this. I've had it way too long. I was going to do it for my friend, and then I just kind of sat on it for a while, and sat on it way too long. But whatever. The world is what the world is, and now I am almost finished with it, and I can get it back to her, and that will be a wonderful thing. Sarah, I know you don't watch, because I don't think you know I have this channel. But for your birthday, I will get it back to you by then. I really will. The last thing I'm working on is the one I'm currently working on. And this is Sarah Totem by the Scarlet House. I should have said, I will put a before picture in here. I don't know. And here's where I am. She's a big girl. She is a big girl. So I've just been working in this section right here. I'm hoping to get, I don't know how much of this I want to get done this month. I'm hoping to kind of get down to here, down to the bottom of this spot. We'll see. We'll see. And right over here is where the Sarah Totem Aqua School medallion thing goes. But right here, there's another swan type piece goes right here, and that is what I'm going to work on this evening, and I'm really looking forward to it because I think that'll be pretty. I love all the ghost motifs in this because there's so many that are just, they're there. See? They are there. They're just little ghost motifs, and they make me happy. Oh, that might be why it wasn't sticking to the piece very well. You put it up backwards. There. Well, holds up much better when you put the piece on the fuzzy side. But yeah, nice little ghost motif there. There's this ghosty flower. There's a ghosty O right here. I really do enjoy a Quaker. I do. There's something about Quakers that just, is fun. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get this one finished, though there's a bit more. There is a bit more to do than I thought when I first pulled it out. Like when I first pulled it out this month for Whip Go, I was all, oh, I'll just finish that this month. And then I pulled it out and looked at it and went, no. No, that's a little bit more than I thought there was. I will not be finishing it this month, but I would like to get a nice chunk done. And I feel like I've got some done. A nice chunk, but I want a nicer chunk. I am doing that with Vicki Clayton Silks, which I have held in here. And I'm going to show this off because I'm amused by it. That is all the spools of silk, and it fills up every single one of them. And I have fully finished one of my spools. One of my spools is empty, but I did need to use every single one of these spots. This is a much better storage than what I was using previously. I like this so much better. It's much more compact. Everything just tucks right away. This makes me feel like a genius. I'm not one, but it makes me feel like one. I also have my chocolate party socks, which are my work project, but I forgot to grab them. They are still in my purse. And I have finished the heel turn on the one sock, so there's barely anything to show. So I didn't grab them. But that is all of my whips. Wow. I did amazing, didn't I? I think I did amazing. Now I'm going to talk about Whip Warriors, which is a group I joined. Last year it was No New Starts. This year it's called Whip Warriors, and that is where I'm doing the 23 and 23. So I have 23 projects that I have pulled out. I didn't actually pull out a full 23. I pulled out, I think, 17 or 18. And I'm trying to work on just those projects without new starts, or fewer new starts, and get some of those projects finished. I have finished some of them, and that makes me happy. But, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump you all. It was a problem. But because of Whip Warriors, I have started counting my stitches. And where did I put it? Did I not write? Oh, pooh, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I've started counting my stitches. And I just want to let you know how many stitches I did in January. Now, when I'm counting stitches, I'm only counting full X's. I don't count back stitch. So I've technically done more because there's a lot of back stitch on the shells on the Ocean Harvest, but I didn't count 2 back stitches as 1 stitch. I'm having a hard enough time counting stitches. I'm actually enjoying it. We'll see if it lasts. But last month, I did 15,519 stitches. That seems like a lot. Now, the Home Sweet Home, that was a lot of stitches. That was a whole lot of stitches. I also did a ton on Ocean Harvest. But still, 15,519 stitches last month. That's a lot of stitches. That is a whole lot of stitches. A whole lot. Anyway, because of Whip Warriors, I'm doing that. And I am finding it interesting. I figured it would go well with my Whip Go board, which I am doing as counting stitches as well. This one I am doing, I'm just rolling a die and then doing whatever the die times 100. So I have, so February was what? 7 and 11. And I had a D10 and I rolled a 7, so I did 700 stitches, and I did that on my Ocean Harvest. Then my next one is a D20, that's what I rolled, and I rolled a 19, so not quite the biggest number I could get, but very, very close. I rolled a 19, so I have 1,900 stitches to do, and I'm doing that on Ceratotum. I'm not quite there. I have not made 1,900 stitches on Ceratotum yet, but I have done 1,500 plus stitches on Ceratotum for Whip Warriors, because you have to do a minimum of that on Whip Warriors to prove that you're making progress. Anyway, I'm enjoying those Facebook groups. They are fun. I am enjoying Whip Go again, even though I'm doing it very different because I don't have an actual piece planned for my Whip Go pieces. I am just doing, well, numbers, and I choose what project I want, but the die roll tells me how much I need to do on it. Minimum. I can always do more. Always do more. But that Whip Go is giving me my minimum. And I think that's working well for me. I love watching all of you in Floss Tube Land, and you have your daily stitches. You have, oh, on Wednesdays I do this, or on the 7th of the month I do this, or I do dark 13 stitches. I love the idea of all of those. I love the idea of that. I want to have a dark 13 stitch. I want to. I don't stitch that way. It does not work for me. I do not like trying to pull out a piece and work on it for just one day. I want it out for a couple of days, or for 2 days, or for 12. I want to do things that way. The idea fascinates me, but that isn't how I actually craft. So I have been trying to make things work for me. With Whip Warriors, with my 23/7, I made goals for each of the pieces that I put in. And for some of them, it's finishes, but like for Home Sweet Home, it was finish the entire border. Now, these are yearly goals for me, and I figured that was going to take me a lot longer, and I ended up finishing it, so I crossed it out. I have Isabella's Heart finished. I did that. Maker and Mender finish. I did that. So yeah, I have goals for each of my projects that I have in my 23 for my Whip Warriors, and I have goals I want to attain. But yeah, that works better for me. But I do really wish that I was one of those people who was like, oh, it's the 13th. I'm going to pull out my dark 13 stitching, because I want to do that. At this time in my life, that is not how I craft. It may never be. I don't know. So I thought I'd talk about those, because those games, groups, what have you, push what my plans are. So my plans this month are to finish my icebreaker shawl, to finish my Sign of 4 socks, both socks, so I have the pair. So that is my knitting. On Ceratotum, I do want to finish like that. Let me pull it out. Because I can't explain. I can't explain. I want to finish essentially this section here. Just fill in fully down so that I have that whole side finished. That is my goal. That is my plan. And then, because of Cross Stitch Camp from Colorado Cross Stitcher, who this month, I know it's already the 7th, but she's doing her winter cross stitch camp, which this year is start a project, start and finish a small project that is part of a series. I haven't started mine yet because mine is going to be the Hands-On Designs circle project, seasonal circles, circle seasons, whatever it was called. Mine hasn't arrived yet because guess what? They shipped at the beginning of the month, and snow and ice evidently delayed the planned shipping day a day. Regardless, they're small, they're cute. Hands-On Design, I don't know if I don't have a picture or anything like that of any of them, but mine is supposed to arrive tomorrow. That is what the interwebs and tracking tells me. Tomorrow. So for that, for Cross Stitch Camp, I am going to work on those, and it comes with everything for 3 little seasonal circle design things, and I'm going to finish them. I know, because I'm finishing things now. So, you know, this obviously is how this works. I'm going to stitch them, and I'm going to finish them, and they're going to be lovely. And I will do that for spring, which is what the one is coming now, which is why they wanted to mail it on Groundhog Day, which I thought was cute because you mail it on Groundhog Day, and you might be getting 6 more weeks of winter, but you might be getting spring soon. It was evidently 6 more weeks of winter, except evidently in Canada where their groundhog died. I'm not sure what that means for Canada. I really don't know. What happens on Groundhog Day when your groundhog dies? I don't know. Anyway, tangent. Woo! That was a wild tangent. Anyway, they mailed it on the 2nd, and evidently it was on the 3rd instead because weather. Anyhow, spring is the one that is coming. All 4 of the seasons will come. I purchased the whole set. That's how it was sold. And so next time I will hopefully be showing you at least one of the 3 circles finished in stitching. Who knows if it'll be finished in all of it. Finished in finishing? Finished in fully finished? I don't know. Hopefully I'll have some of that done. But so, Sarah taught them, hands-on designs. Maybe I'll make some more pillows. Maybe I'll get that other thing framed. Maybe I'll actually get that one framed accurately so it doesn't look all wibbly wobbly. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey is great for a Time Lord. Wibbly wobbly is not so great for my framing. Just saying. Just saying. Not so great. It is my nemesis right now. Straight edges are my nemesis. Nemesis. Okay. So those are my plans. I think they're not insane. Not too much. And if they are, I don't make them. If I don't make them, the world is not going to end. I do with my knitting. If I finish the shawl and the socks, I am going to start my big cozy cardi. I am. If those 2 things get done, I am. Yorkshire Gold. It's a good one. So now let's get into stash. I have a little bit of stash. I do. I have some. You might have seen one. I did. I got one of the quilt design boards. It does make it nice to put your cross stitch on so you can see it easier. And it might also start getting used for quilting. We'll get into that. That's in a moment. I also have, I swear, I always am saying I'm going to open these before I get on here. And do I ever know? So, I'm going to do it now because I cannot remember to do it beforehand because I'm a terrible human being. I have my Be Stitch Me Club of the Month. Fabric Club. I'm in the neutrals, whatever. 40 count. And this one is Hot Cocoa. I like it. I like a good neutral. Which is why I'm in the Neutrals Club. Amazing! Shocking how that works. So, the Stitch Me Club, still getting it. I'm not sure if how much longer I'm gonna get it. Because I have a good amount of neutral fabrics at this point, and we'll see. But I really do like it. I like her fabrics. You'll see more about that later. And I did buy a bit of yarn. Just one skein. Couldn't help myself. It was named Hobbiton, and it was a Hobbit yarn. How am I supposed to turn that down? How? How am I? Me. Person who has Elvish tattooed on her body. How am I supposed to turn down Lord of the Rings inspired yarn? I'm not. Granted, I'm not doing the rest of her whole Lord of the Rings set. I fell for Hobbiton, but I have enough yarn, so I'm not going to do more. But I did fall for Hobbiton. It is Dragon Horde yarn. It is her Lore sock base, which is in 8515. And this is the colorway Hobbiton. So you have this glorious, glorious, glorious scummy green with browns. And then you have 2 minis. No clue what I'm going to do with this. It is already in my... Why can I never remember the word for spreadsheet? Because I can't. I never do. It is already in my spreadsheet, so it can just be put away when I am done. Next things I got, which I didn't take out. again, because I am a terrible human being, my Roxy Floss Clubs for February. So these are the neutrals. We have spinach, sequoia. Oh, that's a good one. Timpani. We'll just do it like this. Tuesday. Oh, I don't know if it's showing the red that Tuesday is. Oh, there we go. There's the red. And Thursday. Ooh, I really like Thursday. Ugh, heck with it. That's too big. That is too big for showing off flosses. Those are so pretty. Look at Thursday. Look at Thursday. So those are the neutrals. So lovely. And now we have the brights. Now, this is my kind of brights. Just saying. We have quote, unquote, old book. Look at that. This one is amazingly variegated. And it looks like it has quote, old quote in it. Here we go. Dust It Off, which also looks like it's an old book. Unicorn. And Midnight. I don't know about you guys, but these three beg to be in something together. I have no clue what, but these three are screaming to be in the same project. And then these two, Midnight and Unicorn, those two also really kind of need to live together. Ugh. But, and this is where it gets problematic. Look at quote unquote and Midnight. Look at those two. That is so gorgeous. There's a reason I get these. I love color. I absolutely love color. So there is my Roxy Floss Co. February brights and neutrals. I lost one. Spinach. That was one of my neutrals. And now I have two more things to show. Two groupings of things to show. So, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I ended up coming down with a really awful cold. I was at work, I started feeling off, and so I went home. And I had a fever of 102. So it was a good thing I went home. And I slept for a bit. And then I was on Facebook on a Friday night, much earlier than I normally would be, because normally I'm either out or I'm commuting home, or I don't get home until 8 and things like that, because, you know, commuting and working. But I was home and I was on Facebook, and Bestitch Me does this Friday night fight night thing. People, that's dangerous. Let me just, danger. I am very happy. I am usually working and out so late that I cannot do Friday night fight night on a regular basis. In fact, I kind of hope I don't ever get to do it again. Kind of. I mean, I kind of want to. But my bank account would like me to not. So, I bought a couple fabrics. I won them. I said, me please. And she said, all right, here's your invoice. This one is a 40 count. This one actually has a name. It is called Muddy Puddles. Look at that. Ah, I don't know what sampler is going to go on this, but I think it might be a sampler. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. So there's one. Oh, we're not going to keep count. We're not going to keep count because we don't want to know. This one also is a 40 count linen. And this one is called Devil's Claw. I know, look at that. The purples and the blues on the browns and the swoon. Just swoon worthy. Too gorgeous. Too beautiful. I don't think the rest of these have names. This one is a 32 count. Yeah. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Yes, it is dark. It is gloriously dark and mottled and beautiful and gorgeous. And no clue. No clue what's going on any of these, mind you. Not a clue. But hey, not all of my fabric is neutrals today. Beautiful. And then there's this one, which is also a 32 count. Yeah. Look at that. Like, I don't even need to put anything on here. This looks like a freaking phoenix. I mean, if you squint your eyes and maybe close one eye and squint. But I just, and this color down here is just, So there's that one. Oh no, we're not done. This is a 28 count. Isn't that pretty? No, not finished. Not finished. This is the last one. It is also a 32 count. So I have two 32s, one 28, and some, yeah. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't that just gorgeous? It's a funny story. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Ah, funny story. While I'm doing this Friday night fight thing, and apologies, it interrupted me. While I'm doing this Friday night fight thing, jumping on and saying, me please, and hoping you're the first one, I hopped onto one. I was like, oh, I really like this color. I'm gonna, oh, look. My sister's already said me, please. Happened more than once. Which I thought was delightful. My sister is also a stitcher, obviously. Otherwise, why would she be doing these? And getting fabrics. But we have similar tastes. We have similar tastes. Just saying. And it made me laugh. It made me laugh so much. I was like, oh, that's a gorgeous color. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But it did mean that there were a couple I didn't get, which is good. Because, look at that. It's so pretty. It is so, so pretty. Now, I have one last bit of stash, which is I'm blanking on her name. I'm blanking on her name. I can remember her YouTube name, Pages and Stitches. What is your actual name? It's gone. Anyway, this is your fault. I'm blaming you at least because She has two floss tube channels. She has a floss tube channel where she shows all of her lovely stitching, and then she has one where she shows her quilting. I foolishly watched the quilting one when she was showing some quilts that she needed to finish, and she held up this one quilt that she needed to she'd done the, I don't even know the right words, people. She'd done, not the quilting part, the piecing part. She'd done the piecing part. And it was this glorious blacks and grays. It was very pretty. It was a very pretty quilt top, and I went, I like that. I was watching Elizabeth Ann can stitch, and she did this tutorial thing for an easy 9-patch disappearing something quilt block thing, and I went, well, I could take that tutorial, and I could take that gorgeous blacks and grays quilt top look. I mean, I liked it. So pretty. And I could squish those two things together, and I could try and make my own quilt top. Now, mind you, here's my last quilt. It's mid-quilt, and it has been for years. Mid-quilt. I have a snarl back here that I need to fix. Mid-quilt. And I haven't finished it because, well, first my machine died and I had to get a new machine, and now I have a new machine and I'm still intimidated. But I don't even know if I can show you what this one looks like. Too much work. This is on my list. Yes, I am quilting at home a giant queen size quilt. And you wonder why my last machine died. Yeah, I've never sent a quilt out to get quilted. That just seems way too fancy, and I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't know who to talk to. I wouldn't know anything. Anyway, there's that. So I have done quilting before, and I really do want that quilt. But I bought 2 jelly rolls in blacks and creams. It's more like blacks and grays, but there's some creamy-ish colors. And I'm going, because of you, Pages and Stitches, and that glorious quilt top that was all blacks and creams and grays and so pretty. I'm going to attempt to make the quilt top that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch's tutorial showed. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Not a clue what I am doing. But I'm blaming you. I guess I can blame Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch as well. But it really was you, Pages and Stitches. It really was. That quilt top. It made me swoon. And it made me realize I really want one. I really want it. And I can't do that. Like, you have skill. You have capital S skill. I'm lucky if I can piece things together that don't look too crappy. I haven't done it a lot, and my sewing machine scares me. But I'm going to try. I have these. Because I looked at the tutorial thing, and Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. It said 2 jelly rolls. These are called jelly rolls, right? I got whatever they told me to. And I'm going to follow the steps they told me to. Which is why I got this too. I can lay things out. And then I decided, hey, if I've got this, I'll use it for my YouTube too. Ha! But it was originally for this. This may be the last you ever see of it. Just so you know, this may be the last of it. Last time you ever see this. Just like you may never see that quilt that I showed you the back of. You may never see that. ever. Who knows? Maybe in a year I'll be like, I did a square. But the want is there, the desire is there, the wish is there. Whether or not the ability is there. I mean, worst comes to worst, I have wiggly lines. I mean, wibbly wobbly. It's what I do. I do wibbly wobbly. I don't know if I'd mind that as much in a quilt as I do in this framing. Right. So, that frame and I. Like I said, nemesis. That frame is my nemesis. Nemesis. Anyway, those are my plans. And that is my stash. You'll notice, the quilting part was not in my plans. No. I am at daunted level of that particular project. I have it. It's where it's going to stay for a little bit while I process. Process. Right. My tea is almost done. It also sadly went cold. But Yorkshire Gold can go cold. We're not going to go into the rhyming part of that. We just won't. All right, so let's get into life, I guess. I have one. Not really. I have a teeny tiny bit of a life. I told you all I got sick. I did. It was really bad cold. Really didn't like it. I took like 3 COVID tests. They always came back negative, which is good. But whew, that cold knocked me on my butt. I had a fever for like 4 days. It was unfun. Do not recommend. However, in that fevered fugue state, I bought a lot of fabric. And I stitched a lot, which is how I got that 15,000 stitches. Okay. Yay. Whew, that was a lot of stitches. I do not plan on having that many stitches this month. Who knows? Maybe that's normal for me. I really doubt that. But I got some stuff done. Life is good. All is well. We have electricians come in, put a charger in for our car. All is well. Didn't have to have our fuse box thing reworked. That was good. The electrician came in and said, you guys are good. We went, yay. Off he went. We're getting some quotes for a deck because we need to get our deck replaced because, well, let's just say we have some ingeniously placed planters so that you don't step on that spot and fall through the deck. Just saying. The deck needs to be redone. So we're getting some quotes. Getting a deck done is very expensive, especially when you have a deck that goes around 3 sides of your house and you still want it to go around 3 sides of your house because you use it. Now, I've been making jokes since we bought this house that the deck is practically a second living room. Ha ha ha. We use it a lot. It's a second living room. We were out there all the time in the summer. Oh, because of getting quotes, we now know the size, square footage wise, of the deck. The deck has more square footage than my last house. So I'm no longer going to make jokes about my deck being a second living room. No. My deck is a second house. Yeah, it's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey, but we need to get it done. And it will get done this year. It's just going to cost more than we anticipated, which is never fun. But if we do it right this time, with the right materials this time, and we pay someone else to do it, obviously, we will never have to do it again, is the plan. Yeah. And then we will have a deck that we can enjoy all the freaking time and not deal with it ever again, other than enjoyment. But, whew, here's my spleen, here's my kidney, here's a lung, here's my firstborn. What else would you like? Because decks, they be pricey. I'm hoping pretty soon we won't have to pay so many expensive things for the house. I love this house, I do, but whew, houses, they be pricey, people. They be pricey. yeah, other than that, I have my game. I'm still waiting on Frosthaven to be shipped so that we can have our board game day. I have friends who've already received Frosthaven. They've got their shipping notice. They've got the box. They have opened the chits and they've done the sorting and they have started the game. Still don't have a shipping notice. I swear, people, it's not fair. Gaming house. In case that wasn't obvious. I've stated it a couple times, I think, but I don't think I talk about it a ton because crafting world, but crafting and gaming, they kind of gel together nicely. My Eclipse Phase game, really, really fun. Extinction level events, it's delightful. Other than that, reading some good books, listening to a couple good books, watching a ton of FlossTube, and getting tempted because of you people. And life is good. Life is good. I am not buying much in the way of yarn. Halo time. And I am knitting a ton. I'm not buying a lot in the way of cross-stitch stash. Halo time. We're gonna forget about the fabrics. Maybe I shouldn't count them. They're not. Okay. Maybe a couple horns in the halo. The horns are holding the halo up sideways for the cross stitch, perhaps. That's probably a little closer. But I'm trying to down a little thing, a few things, and I'm doing that somewhat okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with what I've done. And I'm really excited about starting things. And I cannot wait for my hands-on design to show up because I really want to start the project. No, it's not late. It's they told you when it was going to ship. It's well within that time. It's out of their hands. It's been shipped. It's in the postal system. They have no control over it now. But I really want it. And I'm impatient. I have plenty to work on, but I'm impatient and I want the new pretty shiny. Tomorrow. Anyhow, now what I should do is I should have some more tea. Yeah, I know what you're doing right now. I know what you're thinking. That girl does not need more caffeine. Oh no, she doesn't. She's gonna go get more tea right now. And then she's gonna film. She's gonna edit, and she's gonna upload, and she's gonna do all the things, and she's gonna work on the stitching, and she's gonna work on the sock or the shawl. She doesn't know which one today. She might do shawl. She might do shawl today. Ooh, or I could finish this leg of the sock today. Leg of the sock. Maybe leg of the sock. Maybe leg of the sock while I edit, because knitting and editing is really soothing. It's weird. It's comfortable that way. That's what I do. So I'm going to go, I'll do that. I hope all of you, I'm babbling. I've well past babble mode. I'm well into the Babbleland. So I'm going to let you all go. Enjoy. Have a fantastic time. I hope all of your things are treating you well. I hope you're safe. I hope you're warm. It's been cold in some areas. I hope you're safe because there's been trains doing weird things, and groundhogs dying, and floods in other places. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy or content. Or if you're not, that you can take a moment to find some calm in your life. Calm. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. And you can see what I've done. It won't be this. But maybe I'll make more pillows. Because that was neat. Maybe. We'll see. Stuffing those things is a beast, by the way. Anyhow, I'll let you go. Take care all. Bye-bye.